Hey, this is Mark, and welcome to the LTP Lounge, episode number 4. Today I've got Uda, the Trailmaster of Puppets, and also a friend of the show, Lewis, and Becky's going to join us momentarily. Hey, today we're talking about Avatar concept art and the shareholders meeting. All right. How's that?
Wow. That was cool.
Well, you can thank Jason for that. He helped me out with that. We were talking about that. Yeah. But I'm glad he did that. All right.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, again, my name's Mark, one of the hosts of the Leaving Today podcast. Sitting to, I guess, to the right now is going to be Udi, the Trailmaster of Puppets.
How we doing?
And then below is going to be our friend Lewis.
Hello, everybody.
Hello and welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us today, dude.
Oh, that's cool. Great.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome. Okay, so we're going to talk about the concept art, and then Psycho Pouncer, nice intro card.
Right.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That's our first comment. Yeah. Okay. You guys want to go over the concept art first, or do you guys want to go over the shareholders meeting, or what?
I know Becky's sitting backstage. Maybe we need to turn around.
Oh, I didn't see her.
Or maybe she's off on purpose. I don't know. Are you doing that on purpose?
No, I wasn't doing it on purpose. Hi, guys.
Hello. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Just having some computer issues today, but no big deal. I'm gonna get a new one at some point. So there's Becky, another member of the LTP, is here. So we're gonna talk about shareholder meeting, and we're gonna talk about Avatar concept art. What do you guys want to go first with this?
Let's talk about the concept art.
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go
Yeah,
with the
I
easy
think that's
topic.
good.
The easy topic, okay.
The easy
Let's see here.
Right.
That's not a pre-shadow at all.
Can
No,
you guys
not
see
at
that? Can you guys see that?
No, you got to bring it up. Hold on, maybe I can do it. There you
I
go.
got it.
There.
There
Oh,
it
yeah,
is.
there
Got
it is.
Okay. All right. So here we go. This was I'm gonna it's weird. I have to look at the screen and not see you guys when I do this. So here we are. This concept art was released last Wednesday as part of the shareholders meeting, and it was on the screen for maybe 2 seconds and they got taken down, but
Yep.
lots of people got it, and I imagine it was delivered to all the media outlets as well. I want to know what your first impressions are, thoughts, and after the dust settled for a couple of days for me, I have some other thoughts about it. But let's go. Lewis, what do you got? First off, Becky or Lewis, you want to jump on in on that?
Yeah, either
Right.
one. Lewis, do you want to go first?
Ladies first, please.
Okay. So when I first saw it, hearing that it's the concept art, my first thought is it the concept art for Moana 2 and Avatar? Because to me, it does look a little kind of like Hawaii, kind of those kind of vibes to me.
Yeah.
So it wasn't quite what I expected. However, I have not seen the newest Avatar, so I don't know how this looks compared to the newest one.
Okay.
Right. So I'm gonna just jump in where Becky left off and just say that the concept art is a lot like the scene in Way of Water where the family is first going into the coral reef environment to meet with the water Pandorans.
Okay.
And this scene is reminiscent of that. But like Becky said, it gives off a very, very tropical vibe, if you will, just like in that scene in the film. My only gripe, because I do have a little gripe here, is that
sure.
we're not seeing the gravity-defying rocks like we're seeing in Florida. I mean, I guess you could say like top center, slightly right, you have some gravity-defying rocks,
Yeah.
but not like the ones at Animal Kingdom. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of a little disappointed in that, because in the scene, the gravity-defying rocks in the scene are very prominent, and that's why I'm like, they're kind of like going for, as you know, Udi would say, they're kind of going on the cheap here.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm like, is Iger back to his old tricks? Yes, probably he is.
He probably is.
Yeah. Well, you know, and that was the thing is you're right. I remember that scene, and now as you're talking back, oh yeah, no, I totally see that now. But that is definitely the vibe of like trying to do as little as he can for as little as he can. And sadly, we're getting a lot of that lately. So to me, one of the biggest things with Avatar is the suspended rocks. You know, that visual and the way they did them, that I've seen the pictures and the videos at Animal Kingdom, is amazing. So to me, if you're going to do an Avatar thing, that kind of needs to be part of the whole experience, right?
Yep.
So the other part of it then, and then I mean, literally within like 20 minutes of all this going down, and Mark and Becky know, we were glued, or I was, and they were too. We were all kind of glued to the coverage of the shareholder meeting where this came up.
Right.
And literally, like within 20 minutes after that, I started sleuthing around, like, what are people saying, and I ran across a statement that made me go, dude, are you kidding me? And the statement basically alludes to, and that Disney's saying this isn't actual concept art for it. It's actually inspirational art for it.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So when you look at it this way, when I saw that and I went, okay, understanding the placement of this, and Louis, before we started, you brought up another thing, and what I'm about to say dovetails exactly what you're saying. What Iger has done lately is right around quarterly earnings or annual stockholders, something happened. Some like, look at what we're going to do, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know, Louis, I don't know if you watched and listened to the entirety of that stockholder meeting, the stockholder meeting. I did.
Yep.
And once we get there, I'll go into the full thing. But that's why when I read this, I just put my head down and went, we can't even trust this. These are things being done. A lot of the things are being done to obfuscate and distract. And so I can't trust it, and we can't trust it. Then the other thing that comes along with it that kind of drove the final nail in my mind for this, and I stopped looking at it, was the news that they're going to redo Autopia, and they're going to try to make it to electric cars, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, look at this. Where would they put this? The lagoon would be the natural setting, right? You're looking at it, and you're like, well, if they're gonna go crazy with it, gonna go full wave of the water, that's the only thing that makes sense, right? In that pad, in that huge area. And they're like, well, we're gonna redo that, and we're gonna make them electric. Cut that all out. What do you got left? And so for me, I'm like, it was done. It was done for me. I'm like, I'm done. This is not happening. This isn't gonna happen here. If anything, maybe Disney Forward, which is coming up in next week after, see where that goes, maybe there. So I was super frustrated by the end of Wednesday, after the hour or so meeting, like half hour, whatever, all the coverage, I was like kind of not like dejected, but I'm like, man, here we are. But I will when we're done with the conversation, I'm going to put a positive bow on it, because I have a tendency to want to do that lately. So
yeah,
that's cool.
I'm looking at this comment. So are most shareholders are clueless? No, I don't think so, because if you look at the results for Nelson Peltz, he got 34% to take over the seat that he was looking for. A lot of those were smaller investors. The big ones were the ones that stayed here. But without going into that topic yet, so no, just to answer that question, no, they're not. a lot of what they call the retail shareholders are not. They're realizing what's going on. Like Mark, like anybody else, not the huge investment guys.
Right.
They have their agendas. They're going to do what they're going to do. But we'll go further into it once we get that topic.
Right.
But yeah, so I love the drawing. I love the painting itself.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like it's not happening. It's not happening. It's cool,
Well,
but I'm going to talk it up into the list of another. Look at this, another blue sky treatment, another. Look at what we're going to do. Look at what we're going to do, and nothing is set in stone at all. Sorry.
Okay, so I mean, I have a couple of thoughts to go on this. I do love this concept art. I think it's wonderful. Do I think it's going to go where they say it's going to go? No, because I'm gonna pull up a map for Disneyland in a second here, so we can talk about that in real time. But if you got the things I've been reading about this is, so clearly we can see that this is a boat ride, and
yeah.
I would imagine that is what's going to be called their e-ticket attraction in this Avatar land. But if you zoom in closer, there's people like going through caves on the left, and then walking over bridges in the background. Now, actually, what I was going to say is, I've been hearing a lot that this tech that they're going to use for this is going to be very built off the same engine as you're using for Pirates in Shanghai Disney.
Projection technologies.
Yeah, like projections. But that particular version of Pirates is supposed to be the absolute best version.
Pirates and Sunken Treasure, absolutely.
Yeah.
As far as technology goes, storytelling. Sorry, Anaheim takes the prize.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna argue with that at all, because I think you're right. I think you're right, but they better not touch our Pirate ship.
Like I said,
yeah.
Anaheim takes the prize for story. Shanghai takes it for technology. Absolutely.
Yeah. So if they can have some sort of hybrid version of that for this, I'm all in. But getting what's going on, Udi, what you gonna say?
Well, no, they already messed with the redhead, so not to touch a sore subject, but yeah.
Oh, it is a sore subject.
No, I'm sorry. I was referring to the original prior to 2008 Pirates.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about.
I'm referring to the original story.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
Like
purist, I'm right there with you.
Purist, old school, Existencio, Mark Davis, Claude Coates, Gracie's, all their original stuff back in '67. I mean, that's what we're referring to.
100%.
I'm not referring to the
I knew it.
film franchise at all. No, not at all.
Yeah, no. I know. No, you're 100% correct. You're 100%.
That's
correct.
what takes the story. That's the best story anywhere in the world. But again, like Mark's saying, look, Shanghai really knocked us for a loop, technologically speaking.
Yeah.
And that's why technological speaking, that's why Shanghai is a superior product to Anaheim.
Well, yeah, when you look at it that way, yeah.
Well, yeah, of course. It's the only way to look at it.
Okay, what are you referring to? It's like I think that's Gare Bear. I'm thinking that's who that is. What are you
the revelation that it's probably not going to be built. That's probably what Gare Bear is referring to, is that that's a disappointing revelation, is that Udi's saying, look, it's not even concept art. It's inspired by concept art, which is like, I can't say anything on a family-friendly podcast, but I want to. But what it is, more or less, essentially what Udi, I think, is saying is it's a pig and a poke. A very big pig and a very big poke, right?
Sure.
Awesome. I got it right.
Yeah, no, you got it
right.
You're 100% spot on, my friend. 100% spot on. Exactly what it is. Exactly.
Right. And this is, I guess, their selling point for what Disneyland 4 is going to be. And so this is going to say something like, this is what we can do once we get those approvals from the state of Anaheim next Tuesday.
Right. That in the state of California. Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, looking at it that way, it's basically going to be the thing is if they begin to build off of that, then okay. But we cannot look at that and begin to dissect it and go like, okay, these are the pieces we're going to get, and this can go here.
Well, that's something I wanted to add to what Udi's saying is that, and what you're saying, Mark, is okay. Like, so you look at the inspired art, right?
Yes.
If you look at the scale of the human beings in the drawing as a relation to perspective, and I used to do this all the time in my work as far as being able to visually reference like art or concept drawing and then put it into reality.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, according to the scale I'm looking at, it looks like you need at least 28 to 35 acres of land area to make that inspired art happen into physical reality.
Yeah.
Where are they going to find that 35 acres? Please, somebody explain that one to me, because I'm
okay.
Well, Mark has a map up, so
right.
Yeah, and let me get to that. So I'm going to switch off my view, so because I can't. So it doesn't matter on your end. I'm going to move it around. Okay, so let's just assume next week that Disneyland Forward gets approved.
Yes.
Okay. So they're talking about, and we talked about this on our last show, was that everyone wants Disneyland Forward. Okay, let's start building stuff, but they need to build infrastructure first to get everything done. And in the center of the screen now, we've got the bus terminal drop-off and loading area.
Yep.
Right. Eastern Gateway.
Yeah, Eastern Gateway, exactly right. They need to build out the parking lot first and close that section off. And they're talking about this Avatar land possibly going in Hollywood land all the way out to the bus load unload area.
Are they talking about like tearing down Hollywood land and rebuilding it Avatar then?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Oh,
no way.
For real?
Way.
Yes, Lewis. Yes, that's that. Okay, I'm not saying I agree with it. That's what.
No, that blows my mind. Like, why would they do that?
No,
because
it's an idiotic. That's an idiot. Okay, that is an idiotic mentality to have that. That to me, when people look at that, they're not realizing what they're talking about. In my mind, okay, because
to
blow that all up, you can't continue to. Okay. Let me back up. Avengers Campus is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a 5-year-old at best area.
No, it isn't 5-year.
Not even. I think.
Right.
So they cannot. You're going to start destroying that. They need to expand on that. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're not going to do that. It doesn't make sense, especially now with Disney operating on the cheap. Let's be real. They're not going to do that. The only way to move forward, in my mind, to do any of that is got to be Disney Forward. It has to be. All these other things that they need to do for parking, that's infrastructure.
Yep.
You cannot destroy stuff and go blah, 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 because people who start thinking like that forget about infrastructure. They don't remember parking. What about these are all things: roadways, highways, sewer, electrical. I can go on and on and on, and they don't think about that. So it doesn't fit over there, and they don't even control that much area over there. So anyway.
Thanks, Jason. I appreciate that comment, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was gonna say something, but like, nah, I'll leave it be. But yeah.
No, I don't disagree with you at all, Udi. I don't disagree with you at all. I think this is a ridiculous concept. I mean, not only do they have to reroute these monorail tracks, you've got one here and you've got one up here.
Right.
So you've got that, but think about, for like thematically thinking, if you come into DCA and then you turn left down Buena Vista, and then all of a sudden you've got Hollywood land, and then all of a sudden you're into the Avatar? No, absolutely not.
No. It only works if they continue to expand Marvel and bring that around. That actually works. Actually works.
What works?
If they make that Avengers Campus and they come working their way around, that works. Okay,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so them trying to put Avatar in that corner, thematically doesn't work.
Correct.
If they want to move things in that direction, Marvel going out in that direction, that works.
Yeah, Marvel works over there.
Yes.
Okay, Yeah, I was about to say, because again, using my concept of scale in the inspirational art,
Yes.
that's less than 15 acres of land area. Right?
Yeah, it's not.
But
even,
you have to know that stuff. Like, you have to be like involved
Yes.
with civil engineering to understand that. You look at that picture of that footprint, you're like, that's only 15 acres. How are they going to get that concept art in there?
Yeah, no, and
How?
again, and exactly. See, so when as much as I like the idea of like trying to figure out where things are going to go, and we love doing
Right.
that,
Love
but
it.
but we also have to also have to come from a base of reality. So we are looking at it going, well, logically, where does this work? And that's what I'm saying. Logically, the only way it works is going to be over whatever Disney Ford, whatever, if they
Right.
get their book. So this is why the stockholder meeting, what happened there, is so important. Why I find it so interesting, because all of these things, when you understand what's going on there, you can come into these ideas and start dissecting what's probably real and what's probably BS. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know, so what is it for real? What is the real? And so, like I said, we're looking at this going, there's no way that works over there. Well, why? Because look at it. I mean, you just, square peg, round hole, don't work.
Right.
Logic, math, that kind of stuff. It doesn't
Well,
work.
that, and like I'm saying, like, a whole bunch of us have backgrounds in this kind of stuff where we're like literally doing off the cuff intelligence analysis.
Yeah.
Right. And we're literally trying to divine the intentions of like WDI and like and then leadership over at Walt Disney Company. And it's like what they're saying and then what they're doing are two different things. And it's like I'm gonna have to agree with Udi here, is that they're gonna have to put it there at the between Disneyland Way and Laura Street. Like, there's nowhere else it's gonna go.
So Lewis, do you think this parking lot could fit what you're talking about?
It could fit that and then some. You're talking literally right there. That parking lot is literally about, conservatively, 105 acres in land area.
And just from your concept art, just perspective, how many acres you think would take just to get that in there?
You would need a minimum between 34, 38 acres of land area.
To put that in perspective, that's twice the size of Galaxy's Edge.
Right. Of course, I knew that.
Yeah.
This parking lot is?
Yes.
No. What they would
No. We're talking about my estimate would literally is larger than Galaxy's Edge currently in land area.
Geez.
Just by, I think you would need 2 Galaxy's Edges to put the Avatar inspirational art into. That's how much land
and make it
area
reality. Yeah, make it reality.
and make it a physical reality. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm looking at that comment about cut off Marvel. They can't do that. That's underselling. I don't think that
Let's go back.
is in the future.
So Jason is saying he wants to just use this half of Hollywoodland.
Yeah.
But I don't know about that.
That's what I'm saying. If they, in order to reinvigorate everything and bring it back up, the movies need to become better. That's a different topic.
Well, they need another Endgame. They need another Avengers Endgame. That's what they need.
Yeah, they need that kind of movie with gravity.
That scale of film. Yes.
Yes. So, but once they do that, it fits into Hollywood. You can actually wrap the corner and make that area, all of it, and actually expand into Avengers Campus into something worthy than what it is right now. Because right now, it's a joke.
Sure.
It's an utter joke. It's like I don't know. It's like a pebble in the pond. It's like this. It makes no difference.
Like Francois Square is a big fat joke. Same thing.
Oh, the San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco is a big fat joke at DCA.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Yeah. So,
well, I mean, we can look at the overhead right now. It'll show it. But my point being is that one, Big Hero 6 is a great film, and if you haven't seen it, I recommend everybody out there in the ether, you need to watch this movie because the movie is awesome. Anyway, that all being said, their square concept, their Fransokyo Square, is like a joke. I mean, they should have put an attraction in, but clearly, like Udi's saying, we're getting a lot of do it fast, do it on the cheap, do it under budget, get it out there, done, and then forget about it.
Yeah.
And it's a real crying shame.
It is.
No, and this is sadly where we are with that. And I hate having to constantly bring it up, but I keep on saying it. Understanding what's going on is the only way to start correcting and pushing back.
Right.
It doesn't mean we hate Disney. It doesn't mean we're
like, we want them to succeed.
We're not haters. We're actually lovers, and we're like, no. We're being honest and critical.
Right.
And so that's why it's like, I always feel like I need to reiterate that with people sometimes, because I think in this world, too many people think if you're being critical, you're being a hater, and it's like, no.
Well, on that note, like, because I've listened to a lot of the casts, and you guys are always stating that you're honest, but at the end of the day, you want to see the company succeed. You want to see parks succeed. You want to see true guest happiness and a value for their money. That you guys have preached that since the beginning. Like that has been a consistent message, episode after episode after episode. Even Becky has said that episode after episode after episode.
Yeah.
So everybody who knows about Leaving Today podcast knows what camp you're in, knows that you're not negative Nancy's, but you're positive Pete's. Like everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to sound like a corny Simpsons ad, but that's literally what you guys are, is positive Pete.
Yeah.
You want this to happen.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. No,
saying it as a fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let me address this comment. I to an extent I agree. I agree with that now, but they're not going to blow up. They're not going to blow up all that land for Avatar. I just don't see it, because the way I think there's one thing about Avatar, and I think we've kind of touched on a few of our shows, is a lot of people are forgetting it. And I think we've talked about this, Lewis, too. I think I may have talked about it, because I remember this being a fairly recent conversation about the marketing and the merchandise off of that.
Right.
Okay.
Huge.
A lot of people are not understanding that Marvel, even though the movies aren't doing well and and into the entertainment scope isn't doing well, there is still a lot of ingrained characters that mean a lot to a lot of people. Spider-Man. I mean, you
Captain America.
Captain America. We can go on and on and on and name them, right?
Right.
So a lot of people forget that is a 40, 50-year history. Avatar has a 20 at best. And then even then, how many people are rolling around wearing Avatar gear and wearing Avatar hats? And I got 0 Avatar merch.
Okay, on that note,
0.
So my son and his little buddies in Tennessee are like mad Avatar fans.
Okay.
And like when we went down to Walt Disney World this last time, my son bought $600-700 worth of Avatar merch.
Okay.
So I mean, like he's wild about the franchise.
Right.
You know, he has that little, like, I guess, home audio animatronic that sits on your shoulder and moves around and flaps its wings and all that crazy crap.
Yeah.
All I know, the thing was like a $300 audio animatronic, very expensive stuff.
Yeah.
But he bought it like a drop of a hat. I'm like, now it's your money. Do what you got to do. But
See, this is where I come to. But to me, I feel like that is a rarity, not the norm.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So
but, I mean, clearly,
is there a group of people and that out there are absolutely diehard for it? 100%.
Sure.
No doubt. Like any franchise we can find, almost anything has a hardcore following at some point. We've all jumped onto a cult classic at one time. Evil Dead, Army of Darkness for me, for one, to name a few. Dragonfly, you guys know, another one. The Brown Coats. See, these are all things that you can attach to, but they're not.
Oh, Firefly,
huge. They're not, and everybody's gonna go like, well, Avatar had a big thing in the theater. Yes, but you also have to remember the status of where movies were out at the time. So there's caveats to all these things. A lot of people, and Disney and Iger doesn't always get that, is that there has to be more than just a blanket box office receipt.
Right.
And if
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. Not every successful attraction is based off a positive IP. I get what you're saying. I mean, now that's what it seems like. It seems like every new attraction right now is being built off a relatively successful IP, i.e. Tron, i.e. Zootopia, i.e. Frozen, and so on. Moana, you know what I mean? So, but gosh, like, I mean, in Avatar, I guess, it did okay. I mean, it's not like it was like $1 billion. It broke $1 billion like Infinity War did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but remember that. The other thing that you got to remember, Marvel had to string $1 billion until the end of Endgame, right? Avatar has had one.
Yeah. No, I looked at Infinity in Infinity War, literally by itself made almost $1 billion. Like total box office receipts. Yeah. Infinity War made almost $1 billion by itself.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. Again, this is what a lot of people like. Again, when they look at this, and then I think Jason made a comment that the Avatar land would be more popular than the movies, and I don't know if that's necessarily true. I honestly don't. In my opinion, I think it's a wash. In my opinion.
See, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. With respect, Udi.
Yeah, no, that's
fine. Because right now the number one attraction at Animal Kingdom is Flight of Passage. Without a doubt, beyond debate, Flight of Passage is number one.
What else do they have there to compete with it?
Expedition Everest.
You have Expedition Everest, Kilimanjaro Safari, Navi River Journey, which is kind of almost there.
It's an honest question because
and then Dinosaur.
Okay.
And Dinosaur, which is the Dinosaur Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But see, we're gonna get to that part because I got some news for you.
Okay.
But anyway, so let me address this other comment right here. It says, I really enjoyed Avatar and Avatar 2, but it doesn't stick in my mind. And that's kind of where I'm going. I'm not trying to denigrate the movies at all, but in all reality, it's not part of the zeitgeist. It's not. Marvel, yes. Star Wars, yes. These are parts of the zeitgeist. Avatar, not so much. And that's my whole point. Again, this is where Disney and Iger can maybe run up against problems if they're constantly looking at, well, it worked in that part. Okay.
Right. Because Anaheim is not Orlando.
Correct.
Two different parts of the country, two different cultures. I mean, while there's a homogenized American culture, and I recognize that, East Coast culture, West Coast culture are oftentimes two different cultures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, we see this with, okay, I'm going to dial back the clock. Country Bears Jamboree, right?
Yeah.
Hugely, wildly, insanely popular in Florida, where it's introduced in 1971. It's introduced in California in December 72, right? And I even read an interview in the LA Times with Mark Davis when he was still around, talking about how Country Bear died a quick death because you don't have many country music fans or bluegrass fans in LA that you do in the Florida. And I'm like, yeah, but people want to see dancing bears. I don't really think it's all about the music. I think it's about the spectacle of audio animatronics. But hey, that's just my dumb read. It's my hot take.
Yeah, no. And I'm 100% in agreement with you because I didn't go there for the music.
You went there to see the Dancing Bears.
Yeah, I went to go see the Dancing Bears and comedy of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And the air conditioning. But yeah, I mean, that being said, though, but that's what I'm saying. So this is where I always get into that whole point of like, you can't, the homogenization of park to park to park to park, resort. You can't do that. It's like Disney parks, stop trying to make them like McDonald's. Stop. Like, no. Embrace each one with its own set of attractions and theming, because then you open up to the world, and I keep on saying, then the world opens up like, well, you need to go there because that's the only place you can get that. You need to go there because it's the only place you can get that.
Have you guys seen like LMG videos on the Mystic Manor in Shanghai and in Hong Kong?
No, I haven't seen those.
I have not. Okay. If you ever have 20 minutes to like kill with your life, watch the videos.
Okay.
Because okay, so here's an important cultural difference between Western and Eastern culture, right? So in the West, clearly we have a fascination with the supernatural, you know, it's particularly things that are now dearly departed, so to speak. You know, I'm trying to keep it family friendly here. So, but in the East, they don't do that. They think it's stupid or whatever, you know. So that's why Mystic Manor is talking about not necessarily the macabre, but more of like a mystical journey into the world of magic.
Yeah.
And that's where their supernatural, like inanimate equipment or things, you know, become animated, like in Beauty and the Beast. That's where the Mystic Manor like really takes shape and really takes its form. It's a really, really cool attraction at both parks.
Yeah, and that is the right mentality to have. Absolutely.
Right.
So,
and I mean, so there is a culture difference, and and I think and I remember. Okay, have you guys seen the Behind the Attraction on the Castles episode?
Yeah. Was that one of the first ones they did?
No, it's the last one. It's like one of the last ones they did.
Oh no, I don't have Disney Plus anymore. I haven't seen that.
Oh crap! Right. So
I gotta look for it. I remember seeing it. I don't remember it.
So Dolores Chen, who was the head Imagineer for the Shanghai project, they talked a lot with her, right? And I mean, I'm probably screwing up her name, but anyway, Dolores was like very, very to the point and looked right in the camera when she said, I grew up in Shanghai as a kid. I know what they want. We're going to give it to them. And she was very, very frank about, look, Western culture, Chinese culture sometimes blend, but most times they go their separate ways. So we're going to do a Disneyland that takes into account Chinese culture and Chinese sensibility. And they clearly did. I mean, they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
I mean, like, have you seen Signs of Amusement's latest video on the maze walk at Shanghai?
I haven't had a chance to. No,
I didn't see that.
Watch it. It's wild because it's based on the 2012 film with Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter, as opposed to the 1951 Kate Beaumont, Sterling Holloway animated version. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah. Let me address some of the chat real quick. I think Jason was mentioning Galaxy's Edge. Can you go back to that, or can you bring that back? No, he's right. The Galaxy's Edge is definitely not what we wanted, but I think people do go, but it's not the same attraction. It's not what it could be.
Right.
It's not what it could be, and I think
it's not what was promised.
It's not what was promised, but I think. Without going into the drag of why Galaxy's Edge is broken, I think that it's kind of more Galaxy's Edge should be more of a cautionary tale, man. Like if you're not going to come deliver on a more popular at the moment, a more popular franchise in Star Wars, and then you put that out there, and then you see the reception, people go, but not nearly like the way it should be. Let's be real. We've talked about it. There's that. Part of both of those parts should be wall-to-wall people, but that is more mismanagement from Disney, and that's why. So that's why I don't think you can use that. I don't think that's a fair comparison to come across. So I don't know if you guys have thoughts about that, but that's how I see that.
No, I agree with you, and I've seen your guys' episodes on Galaxy's Edge. I mean, I've paid a lot of attention to them because I was really curious about your perspective, Udi, and like what you guys and we've all had this conversation, like I think maybe 3 or 4 times before, about the direction of the franchise and about how it could get better and about who needs to be involved and who needs to leave and all this other stuff. You know,
any Star Wars had this conversation,
and pretty much like all your, like, I would say heavy duty fans like yourself, like my brother-in-law, all say the same thing. They're like, Kennedy out. What's his name? Favreau in.
No, it's Favreau.
Favreau in, and scrap that whole second sequel trilogy. Like assign it to the ether and redo episodes 7, 8, 9. You know, and forget this New Order crap and. And just keep going into the New Republic, and then maybe incorporate like the next Rise of the Sith, because clearly Star Wars is cyclical in its nature.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I'm sure you guys are probably like, when you went to college or whatever, you guys read Man with a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell.
I did not, but I know of it.
I didn't read that.
So,
yeah, I know of it though. Yeah.
So, okay, big time, like pre-Star Wars, like back in the 60s when George Lucas was going to film school at UCLA, right?
USC.
Or USC, sorry.
Yeah.
So George Lucas is like particularly inspired by Joseph Campbell's book.
Yes.
And so that all being said, but George Lucas took his big takeaway from the book is that literally stories are cyclical in their nature. And we see this across time, across culture, across genre, that most of your timelines are cyclical. And I think that's what he was trying to say with the prequel trilogy and the original. And of course, they kind of buffed it up with the sequel trilogy.
100%.
You know?
Yeah. You're right. No, and that's the thing is when you look at how they were rolled out, and then you look at the story arc within themselves. This is
like what Jason wrote.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because when you look at right 4, 5, and 6, and I'll keep it to this because we can go on about Star Wars and you
we could do it about the whole episode.
We go hours on this, but I'll keep it here.
Yeah.
Looking at 4, 5, and 6, understanding that arc, then you roll back into 1, 2, 3.
Right.
And you understand how that separate arc becomes part of the bigger arc. And then when you're moving to 7, 8, 9, it's not part of any of it. So that's why none of that worked. This is why none of this works. This is why none of this works, because it was not done right. So yeah, Jason's right. Scrap 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Set it off to legend status or whatever.
Right.
And then come back to it, because I will tell you what, if people could get out of their own way and just realize why Star Wars spoke to millions upon billions of people and reconnect to that, all these issues with park attendance and galaxies and all these things, the money, all that, it disappeared. And that's where we are. I mean, this is why what happened during the stockholders meeting is so important.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm ready to roll into that, but
okay. Yeah. Well, let's just so finish up with this concept art of Avatar.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Where can we actually put it?
Well, yeah. Lewis said this part here is part of Disneyland Forward, and I think it would be a great anchor for Disneyland Forward. Especially if you could put it here.
Yep.
But it could also possibly fit up here. But I don't know. I'm trying to think of thematic, continuity of walking out of Critter Country and into Avatar Land. I mean,
that I think thematically that would fit a little bit better.
Or would Frozen fit over there?
Both would work. Work.
So this is what I do want to say. This is what I do want to say about it, because clearly Frozen did make the cut. Frozen is going to Disneyland Forward along with the Peter Pan retheme.
Okay.
So at least that's being strongly hinted. That's been strongly hinted as of Thursday, because the meeting's Friday. The meeting's Friday. I'm just trying to do a timeline. So the meeting's Friday, and then there's a sneak peek Wednesday and Thursday, both like 30-second blips each from Iger et al. About what's about to happen.
Okay.
And this is, I think, and like I was saying right before we went live about, I believe these little blips were designed to push the last stubborn holdouts into voting for him and his cronies on Friday.
Yep. No.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, 100%. No, that was everything.
Much like the sneak peek on Tuesday about, and I can't say this. I hope to God I'm not going to get sued for libel or malice or whatever.
Go for it.
I'm just going to say it. So, you guys heard about the sneak peek of the voting?
Yes.
Right. So you did hear it. Okay. So I'm not
Yes,
just
I
like
did.
hallucinating. I'm not like
No, it
having a
broke out the
fever
Wall
dream.
Street Journal. Wall Street Journal.
Right. Right. Wall Street Journal. I read it in Barron's. So that's where I got my
Yeah.
like,
They were
source
probably
from.
reporting on their reporting. Yep.
Right. And so Barron's reported that literally Iger looks like he's ready to retake things on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesday, we get like this quasi Disneyland forward like sneak peek. And then on Thursday, we get the Magic Kingdom sneak peek. And the Thursday one is what I want to talk about because that sucker's awesome. But anyway, so we get these two. So we get the early results Tuesday, Disneyland Forward Wednesday, Magic or Walt Disney World Thursday, and then we have Friday morning happen. And then Friday morning happens, Nelson and Treon and Blackwell walk away with 34.38% of the vote.
Yeah. Well, Nelson Peltz alone. He did that. That was him. Yeah, just him. I don't know what else.
And I know we're literally jumping from Avatar concept art into the meeting. I got what we're doing. Like, I'm sorry, I just wanted to say it. It's
no. And you're good. You're good. No, because you're 100% spot on. And this is where they're tied. That concept art release and everything else. This is why we're talking about this because you have to connect those. You have to connect the dots between those two and understanding why.
Right.
So no, 100%.
It's
Go ahead.
It's some straight Machiavellian stuff. You know what I mean? This is like stuff right out of The Prince.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you've ever read the book, you know what I mean? And it's like this is like exactly what Machiavelli would talked about like garnering and maintaining power.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this is how you do it: is that you're literally giving the masses, in this case shareholders, you're giving them just enough carrot so they forget about the stick for a moment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And and no offense to you, Mark, because I know you have shares.
Yeah.
My friends that also have shares told me they voted for Treon and Blackwell's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But they did it not necessarily for creative purposes like you and Udi advocated for the last 6 weeks, I think. They were doing it. They were doing strictly out of economic motives.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They knew that Peltz was about to cut a lot of dead weight at the studio.
Yeah.
Or wanted to cut a lot of dead weight at studio, not necessarily the parks.
Yeah. No.
Right.
So, I mean, if you don't mind just going right into the shareholders meeting, because literally that's what we're doing.
Well,
right
we can. Yeah, let's do that. But Louis, I wanted to hear just real quick. I wanted to hear your thoughts about what was announced for the Magic Kingdom because I didn't see that.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's what I was going to talk about in the whole shareholders meeting.
Okay. Well, then let's just do that. So, concept art. I like it. So, let's just finish this up.
Right.
I like it. I hope they can deliver something to this effect, and I think it would fit perfectly as you said, Louis. Probably in this section here.
Yes.
The Pixar Pal. I don't know what this parking lot's called, but this is this parking lot would be great for Avatar. Definitely not enough acreage for this area up here with Hollywoodland, and not only that, thematically, I think it would look absolutely ridiculous to have it off of Buena Vista Street. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and all right. So from that, let's just go to. I'll stop sharing because I have nothing to share for the shareholders meeting. So let's go right into that.
The man in the shadows. I
know.
Yeah, because I didn't see any of the things for Walt Disney World. I didn't see that.
Okay, so do we want to just jump right into that then?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Right. So,
fire away.
like I was talking about the timeline up to Friday morning's vote, right? Because I like doing timelines because it helps me build a logic tree.
Mm-hmm.
It helps me build a chain of events to understand reaction and counteraction, right? Yep. And this is all like game theory stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
And like having to figure out the Walt Disney Company is like trying to run games theory. At least it is a lot of the education I received in school and whatnot, and in my like former occupation, we worked a lot with game theory. So like I'm trying to establish a chain of events, and this is where I'm seeing that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your result, 34.38%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that all being said, so the Thursday announcement was kind of big. So they talked about Beyond Big Thunder.
Okay.
And then they brought back the old tired, I'm just going to call it tired Coco and tired Latin America's art, but they put it behind Big Thunder, not down in Animal Kingdom.
So they are doing that.
Well, no, it's again, you got weasel words like inspired by, not
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yep.
And they're weasel words. I don't care what you call them. Look, internet, I'm going to tell you right now. I hope you're
100%.
zooming in on my face. These are weasel words.
Yeah.
Inspired by does not mean concept, period. Exclamation point.
Exactly.
Right.
Add a few of them on the end for me. Yeah, no, 100%. Okay, so that's what, okay. Oh, man.
Yes.
Okay, so
that's what they leaked Thursday was they were going to do Beyond Big Thunder, and they were going to put the Latin America section at Beyond Big Thunder.
Oh.
That's what was implied. And again, they dragged out the old concept art or the inspired art from Coco and from Encanto.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was going to be their big deal. It wasn't going to go to Animal Kingdom. It was going to be in the Magic Kingdom.
I did not know they did that.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Crap.
Again,
oh, man.
Now, was that going to change a vote? I think most people had made up their minds by that point.
Oh, okay. So this is the point of that. Dude, man, Lewis, you're speaking my language, man. When you're talking about game theory and everything, I'm like, yeah, 100%. And this is
that's what it is.
Yeah, no, it is. And this is where we can get into kind of the weeds with it for some people, because we start going down to the minutia of it, and some people get lost in it. And I understand it's not for everybody. But understanding the words and what they mean and how they're used is super important to dissect everything they're doing. So when they're saying inspired by, that's why I picked up on that inspired by.
Right, the whole weasel words.
I'm like, oh, well, there's your out. And this
there's your total out.
It's total out to what they do. And a lot of people, it is so subtle and quick, it's missed. It goes, boom, oh, well, they said this. I'm like, because once that came out, and using that avatar art, everybody's like, "Oh, look what's coming! Look what's coming!" And then I'm like, wait a second. And then my mind.
That's not what they said.
And then I looked at them like, no. And I brought it up to Mark and Becky. I'm like, hey guys, everybody missed this little 2 words right here.
Right.
And it's like, think. And then everybody's like, oh, it's going to be
inspired.
Awesome. Yeah. And then it's like inspiration art.
Right.
Inspiration art for. So and
inspired by, yes.
Mm-hmm. Right. So this is what happened. This is what happened when you have that kind of attitude from a corporation. And I point more to Bob Iger than anything else. I point more to Bob Iger and his board and his lackeys. I mean, because that's really what they are. Because a board should be adversarial. A CEO
to a degree.
Yes. Well, there should be a level of adversarialness in there, because that's unless you have friction, how do you know that the best thing is going to come up to the top? Having a board full of yes men does nobody any good in the long run, and this is where we keep on coming back to it.
Yeah, see acquisition of Fox. Right.
Yes,
I totally get what you're saying.
and you could make the arguments Fox, Marvel. Now, and even Lucasfilm, depending, we can make those discussions. That I think it's a whole other ball of wax right there. But that being said, it's one of the things is like, with Iger doing this, he absolutely did everything he could to keep Nelson Peltz off of there. And if you paid attention to what they were doing, it was very political. It felt like a political race to me.
Right. So, Udi, did you see now on Monday? So we've talked about Tuesday, we talked about Wednesday, we talked about Thursday. Did you see Monday yet? Did you see the stuff released? I think it was on Yahoo about some like backbiting Nelson Peltz like article?
A
Did
little
you see
bit.
that article? Did you
A
see the
little
article
bit.
on?
I didn't read. I saw the
expose article on Nelson.
Yeah, but
Peltz.
I didn't read it. And honestly, at that point, I was ready. This is ridiculous, because that completely turned. I mean, without trying to sound hyperbolic, when Disney put out their video on how you can vote.
Oh yeah, I saw that on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is straight out of propaganda. This is crazy. And I'm
Agreed.
like, this is absolute insanity.
And I saw it Thursday morning on Disney Plus. I saw the same.
Oh, really?
I saw the same commercial. Yep.
No, man.
So Udi, you don't think they were doing that in 2020 for our general election?
What? Oh, this kind of thing?
No, telling people how to vote in smaller counties.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
100%.
100%. Yeah. And this is why, without going to a political spectrum, this is why this is so interesting, because a lot of people, if you don't understand the way the words are being used, it's easy to miss. It's easy. It's done like very Machiavellian, and a lot of people don't. It does, and it's not their fault. And I'm like saying they're unintelligent for not catching that. It's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that when people have intent and they have nothing but a drive and a goal, they're going to do what they need to do to make it happen. This is what happened.
Indeed.
Yeah. So with this vote that happened, I said it before throughout the show as we're working up to this on our show, that I don't think Peltz was going to get the board spot. I didn't think it was going to happen. Like this.
No, you said this as far back as 3 months ago. You said you didn't think Nelson was going to get it this time.
Yeah, and so the one thing that absolutely happened was that looking at the reaction of Iger and Disney, that proved to me that they felt like it was a legitimate threat. Not like last year. Last year they picked it pretty quickly, and this is all the long game. This is all game theory. This is all and this is what it is. It's like people are thinking, oh, you guys are overthinking. It's like, no, not really. Because you got to understand how big of a company Disney is and how many lives they affect and how many billions of dollars they generate, man. This is there are clearly much larger corporations in the world, but understanding the depth of their cultural impact is missed by a lot of people. And I think a lot of people think that we sit here and we can kind of run over this, and they kind of go like, you guys are way overthinking this whole thing. And I'm like, well, here, let me tell you why we think this way. So yeah, this is all crazy. But I'll just say this real quick. Iger, in his mad drive to keep Peltz and Rasulo off the board this year, I think did two things. One, it exposed him, and two, he put himself on the chopping block. He did it to himself. Because in his statement now, you guys, I'm sure did you guys watch the video that the first on Wednesday? And he basically said, now that I have this distraction out of my way, now I can focus. And my favorite 2-word phrase that they're saying, turbocharge. Hate that. But anyway, he put himself down on the chopping block because he basically said, I am distraction free, so watch me work. And now everyone's like, okay, you got a year. What are you going to do? So this is where we're at, straight up. And he did it to himself. So next year, and with Peltz getting 34%, 45 got, what's his name out? Got Eisner out, right? Was it 45? Something like that.
45.2.
Got him out.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to think, and Disney, well, you can argue if Disney was in better spot or worse spot back then to now.
Right.
That's hard to say.
It is. That's what I'm saying. You can argue it like, we can probably go back and forth. Well, this is where, but anyway, that's not the point. The point is the company's not in a good position. And so I'm going to say this, Peltz, I honestly think Peltz went, okay, next year he's coming back and he's going for the whole board. I'm going to say this right now. He's going for the whole thing. He's like, okay, you got it. And he's going to have, I think he already gained some institutional backing. He did from, I think it was a State Street. I can't remember.
Oh.
He got some big people backing him in the business spectrum, not just the retail people. And he's coming. I honestly feel like right now he just set them up, and the chess pieces have been being played over the last year and a half now. So now we're rolling through into the next year. We'll see what happens, but I'm going for it. He's coming next year. He's coming for Iger's throat.
Well, when we see Epic Universe open this summer in Orlando, we're gonna probably see an entire paradigm shift down there, and then they're going to go into panic mode,
right?
And then that's going to start to affect the shareholders, and this is where Peltz is going to make his first play again, like you said, to literally try to reassign the entire board of directors.
Yep.
And it's going to be a very interesting summer, autumn, and winter. 2024. It's going to be very interesting.
Well, Iger said that they've known about this for 10 to 12 years about Epic Universe.
Yeah.
And yet they've done nothing really. Except, I mean, they've got Galaxy's Edge, but Galaxy's Edge isn't gonna compete with Epic Universe.
Just like they have Avatar Land. Yeah, sure.
Well, no, and Mark, thank you for bringing that up, because that was another thing that I found very interesting during that whole meeting. If they known, we've known about it, and okay, then they bring up the questions like, well, you've allocated, the $60 billion for CapEx, right? Okay, how are you guys going to do that? Did you hear his answer?
Oh, I don't.
He said, well, when we have something substantial to announce, we'll let you know. How long ago did they announce that $60 billion for CapEx? How long ago was that? 6 months ago now?
Probably, yeah.
And you're telling me they've got nothing? They've got nothing. And then dovetailed into that, did he bring up Keanu's Bayou Adventure?
No.
Crickets on that. So it's like, okay, that is your next big thing coming up, right?
Yeah, but we could talk about how the president of WDI just took off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and how this could be a reaction to the whole Iger visit to Walt Disney World to see the 5.5 generation animatronics,
which
and how he's kind of disappointed.
Oh, right.
Well, I thought he was disappointed in the attraction. I thought the animatronics looked amazing.
Well, I think the animatronics are beautiful. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not Bob Iger either.
Well, true. But no, and honestly, I had the same. And I think, Mark, did we talk about that? How when she left, and I found it very odd that she left on Instagram.
Yes. You talked about this. You talked about this like 12 days ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We did. Yeah. Exactly. So. Putting these pieces together, it's like there could be that. It could be something like that. It could be something like that, and it could very well. That could have cost her job, and then that doesn't make me feel good because I'm like, like you got rid of Splash Mountain for what? What are you doing? So and again, these are all the little things that alone you can forgive. Altogether, it begins to paint a picture.
Yes.
Nothing definitive. Obviously, we have no way of knowing for sure, but it points fingers and kind of starts guiding people like this is kind of what's going on. It's a big picture that you've got to look at. You've got to go to the 10,000 foot view to kind of try to figure out what direction it's all moving in.
Right. And look, I don't mean to sound like a conspiracy theorist or like the tinfoil hat brigade or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just reporting what I'm reading, what I'm seeing, and I'm more or less just giving my hot take on it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like none of this is like, oh wait, there are aliens on the moon. None of it's like that. You know what I mean? It's like this is all stuff that really, really happens. you more or less you release you help facilitate the release of an article negative to Nelson Peltz on Monday. On Tuesday, you do this. On Wednesday, you do this. On Thursday, you do this. Friday, we have our day of decision. And it's going to go the way I want it to go.
Yeah.
It's some very, very Machiavellian stuff, man.
Yeah. No.
And there's no conspiracy. That's the worst part about it.
Right.
This is not a conspiracy. This is real. This was what really happened.
Yeah.
No,
and see, and I'm with you with that, and I'm 100% with you that, because when we begin to go into these topics that are difficult for some people to want to accept at a level, or for some it's beyond their depth, and for some
I'm about to say the truth sucks.
It can.
The truth sucks, man.
Yeah, it does. And so this is where we keep on harping on. We keep on harping on the thing that this is the reality of it, and we need to know it to get this better. So for anybody, I don't know how many people are listening, and anybody who's going to maybe catch this later on, if what we're saying, you guys are like, what are you guys talking about?
Right.
I invite you, go back and listen to with what we're saying, and go back and look at some of those videos. Go back and listen to what they're saying. Go back and listen to to look at their posts, look at their articles, look at what Disney's saying, look at what Iger's saying, look at what anybody in the hierarchy in the C-suites are saying.
Right.
And look at it through that lens of understanding, and pick out the weasel words because they're in there.
And oh by the way, I do want to add, look, for everybody at home, everything we're talking about right now is publicly available.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I haven't had to knock down a single paywall to do any of my research.
Nope.
I've done it all literally coast and los, or free of charge, via my broadband internet connection, and just knowing where to go to look for the information. It's all open source. Isn't nothing hidden. We're not revealing any secrets of the company that haven't already been disclosed to the public.
Oh, right.
This is all open source knowledge.
Yeah.
And literally 98% of all intelligence gathering is done with open source knowledge.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. So maybe us just having this very open and frank discussion about what we see will help other people kind of go like, oh, I didn't realize that. Because I affectionately call people who think Disney can do no wrong pixie dusters. I call them that because
the dusters,
the dusters, right?
The dusters.
And so honestly, and I understand to a degree why some people want to do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But we're not the people who are going to be like.
Well, I was say that's called Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
That's what that's called.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, and again, I just want to go back to this. If people watch this, like, why are you guys going so hardcore to Disney? It's understanding how deep it goes into the country and the world. Like, it's deep, man. You guys,
yeah. I hear what you're saying.
In there.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I do want to say that, like, I hope people don't think we're like just munching on a bunch of sour grapes right now.
No,
because we're not. Like, we see, at least I'm going to speak for myself here. I see the silver linings in all these, and like, especially with Udi talking about, look, Nelson Peltz is setting up for the kill blow, or the kill switch. Yeah. He said that is my silver lining right now.
Yeah.
That is my glimmer of hope, is that he is getting his pieces into play to finally make that final offensive, and he's going to take them down.
Yeah,
and hopefully this is going to lead to Disney Renaissance Part 3.
Yeah.
And
so a couple of people have mentioned I just want to address the chats real quick. A couple of people mentioned the magic keys. The magic keys, and I said this on our show, that the magic keys, they're on the cusp. If they pull them back in any way, shape, or form, that's a bad sign for everybody. That is a bad sign for everybody.
Right.
So there is an extent that I think the comment said that he's leaving them open so they can boost the sales, 100%. But that being said, desperate for revenue, and that's a correct statement. I agree with that. But the thing is understanding that desperation for revenue, that's not going away. That needs to maintain.
No.
So these, like, I'm always, and so like Lewis was saying, looking for the silver lining. The fact that they haven't sold out is a big sign that maybe we're turning the boat. Maybe the boat, and it's going to be a long process, but maybe we're turning the boat. We look for these signs, and absolutely, I mean, looking at what Nelson Peltz did and how this week went is 100%. You can see, if you're wanting to look, you can see the pieces being set into place. And so, yeah, no,
Right.
100%. The next year is going to be crazy.
Very interesting.
Going to be
Absolutely.
very, very interesting. It's going to be an interesting time in our country, regardless of anything.
Well, we start talking about macro stuff. Yeah, it's already interesting.
It's already interesting. Yeah.
And this, and believe it or not, and people may want to disagree with me, but this is going to play a part in all this. It really,
You
really.
think?
Yeah, I think so.
You think? I mean, this is front and center in the culture war.
Yes.
Like, we are literally at the ground zero of the culture war right now.
And understanding the battle again for this, it goes deeper. So people like us, so I'm just going to go back to the people that love the park and love Walt. We understand and connect with that at a very deep level. And if not everybody's going to do that. And I just always say, if you're not a lover of Disney, that's fine. But you understand that you probably have a passion for something. And our passion is for this.
Right.
So it's the same. It comes from the same spot. How many people do you see, baseball teams or football teams? Well, we did this and we did that. And I'm like, well, one, it's not you, but hey, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
It's the same thing here.
Yeah.
Right, of course. It's because we choose to identify with fandom. We choose to identify ourselves as fans of this particular form of entertainment. And as fans of that particular form of entertainment, at all costs, we wish for this entertainment to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And when we see things like Friday's vote, we get a little knocked down a little bit. We get a little taken aback. Like, oh, crap, that happened. Damn.
Yep. Well,
Damn.
for me, the whole shareholders meeting felt like it was a completely controlled environment that Disney had.
Oh,
and it's like they're during the host was saying, "Oh, we're still doing live voting for another few minutes or whatever." Great. And then he goes, "Oh, well, okay, now voting's closed." And Bob Iger won by like a large amount. Well, how do you know that? No one knows what's going on.
Yeah.
You just say voting's open and now it's closed, and not even 10 seconds later, you declare Iger as this massive winner. We have no idea what's going on. And then you've got that nonsense with the shareholders calling in. It was that AI voice. I'm like, this is an absolute slap in the face to logic.
It was a slap in the face of all the shareholders.
Oh yeah,
like they insulted you.
Yeah,
insulted your intelligence.
Yeah,
insulted your respect. Insulted your dignity.
Yep. Yeah, you're totally right.
Oh, okay. So a little bit behind the scenes, Mark was a little bit ahead of me on that, and so we were actively texting in the group chat between Mark, myself, and Becky. So we're actively going giving opinions on what's going on. And then Mark goes, "What's with this AI?" I'm like, "AI? What are you talking about?" I thought it was something trying to be about, Disney and working on their AI, blah blah blah. And then he's like, "No, the meeting." Right when he said that, I got that text. They moved into that portion of the meeting, and I went, "What in the fuck?"
It was nonsense, absolute nonsense.
And I cannot think of a worse slap in the face for the shareholders. I'm not one, and I was offended.
Right.
I was offended. Not only do you not know if that was an actual question asked by a shareholder, then you're getting an AI voice, and then you're having Bob respond to an AI. It was
no
and creepy all at the same time.
Yeah.
And I just sit there and I'm like, and this is where I go back to it. They have done everything they can. They did everything they could to keep Peltz off of that board. And I think they blew up their engine doing it. I honestly think Iger, not Disney, Iger blew up his engine doing it. And I swear, I see nothing but a free fall coming, and the stock price reflected that pretty quickly. So again, signs that we're looking at, things that we're looking at to try to dissect what's going on.
Let me ask you this though, guys, an honest question. If Iger names the successor before next year's shareholders meeting, do you think Peltz tries to still come in?
Of course you will. Of course you will.
Yeah.
Ask one more time.
What's that?
Ask one more time. I missed.
If Bob Iger names his successor before next year's shareholders meeting, do you think Peltz will still try to come in?
Yep, 100%.
100%.
Okay.
I honestly, I think what Peltz's comments on Thursday, he put it out there already, and I think there's a lot of looking at it this way, my perception and understanding is Peltz is an infinitely better game player than I do.
Yeah.
And Iger hasn't had to deal with this before, not really, but Peltz has already done this 3 or 4 times. This is old hat for Peltz.
Right.
This is old hat for him. So it's like, okay, and look at how he handled the entirety of the whole thing. Even when he was giving his statement, remember when he was giving his statement and he got cut off by the guy? He even gave a little jab back at him and said, "Yeah, thank you for letting me have an uninterrupted, time."
Yeah.
And so that's to me, that's coolness under pressure. He's like, okay, not only do I see what you did, I'll call you out on it in a very subtle way, and I'm not going anywhere. So he's absolutely, I think him saying, well, I hope Bob can get the succession planning going because I don't want to be here next year. And if he doesn't do that, I'll be here next year. That's him saying, buddy, I'm going to be here next year. I don't think it's going anywhere. And I honestly only think because Disney, I can't help but feel this way, that the Disney's stock is going to go down. It's going to go down because all the initial hooplas about it, whatever, is going to start shining off, or the time's going to come off, and people are going to start realizing, oh, crap, none of that's going to happen. And then there we go again.
Well, it's either that or they better really start speeding up their projects.
They can't do that. Okay, so let's be real about that.
Yeah,
sure.
The only sector bringing in positive revenue is what?
Parks.
Experiences.
Experiences.
Experiences. So that includes cruise lines. Okay.
Right.
Name another sector being successful. Right. There isn't one. Nothing.
I know that.
Sure. So the only way that they literally do that is if they stop using the park money, and we've been saying it for a long time. They're using the park money to siphon it off and prop up the other sides of
the studio. Right.
The studio, streaming,
television,
animation, television, all that. The only way that they can speed it up is if they stop doing that and funnel it back in. The only money that they're funneling back in is the overseas parks. Again, this is where the problems lie, and this is why the stock's going to go down. They're not going to speed up the projects. They can't speed up the project because they literally aren't set up to speed up their projects. They don't have that in them because they're not planning for it.
So Haunted Mansion's still not going to get done till August.
Well, no, and honestly, that's fine because that's just a cue. I'm talking we're talking about Disney Ford. We're talking about anything new coming to Walt Disney World, to Florida.
Like Beyond Big Thunder.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I did bring that up real quick. I know. Just so I'm understanding, Lewis, they're talking about building out past, actually, like beyond Big Thunder here, right?
Yes. To the left of Big Thunder.
Oh, over here.
So, like, if you see the map of Walt Disney World from above, right? We're talking Magic Kingdom, Park, Walt Disney World.
Yep.
Right. If you look at the park from above, on what they call the plat map, you'll actually see on the left side of the park you'll see about halfway up the park, you're going to see this wooded area just to the boundary between Big Thunder Mountain and the park boundary, which is where the railroad is. And Steamboat Steve, if you're out there, I'm going to make your joke. It's where we get to see a bunch of trees on the railroad. It says it's the worst railroad, the entire park system. Point being,
right here,
right there, right to that left there. That's where they want to build the Latin America area.
Okay.
The Beyond Big Thunder.
And what do you think about that personally? Is it good or bad or? I
have been praying for this for years.
Oh, great.
I have wanted a Coco attraction so bad I'm ready to give my eye teeth for it. I love Coco. Coco's like one of the coolest movies ever.
I love it.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miguel, hell yeah. And Dante, the Dante the Herald's dog,
yeah, dude.
the best, man.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I'm just so much land that they can do whatever they want.
Yes, you're absolutely correct.
Speaking of eye teeth, I mean, most of us would give our eye teeth to have land like that in Anaheim. They just do it. They could build like a full on like villains land back here as well.
I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. I mean, I think that the impetus is on the Encanto and the Coco franchises.
Okay.
And that's like a real big thing, especially in Florida. Not so much Coco, but Encanto, because of the South American Latin population in Florida.
Yeah.
I can see where it would be a really, really big prize for Disney to secure that. Because if you look over at Epic Universe or you look over at Universal Orlando, they got nothing like it.
Yeah.
I mean, they got like a mariachi band and stuff, but that's about as far as it goes. And oh, by the way, Disney already has 2 mariachi bands at World Showcase in Epcot.
Yeah.
So again, Disney's already kind of like courting that whole Latino Hispanic culture thing going on right now. And it would only get better with the whole Latin America's area beyond Big Thunder.
Yep.
I think it's a win-win. I think, one, I mean, I love it. 2, I mean, I know Udi loves it, and I know Udi likes Coco. I mean, as much as I
I'm not an Encanto guy, but Coco all day. Yeah,
exactly.
Yep. Let me. You want to address that chat real quick?
You can, Udi. Go ahead.
No, that's 100% correct. So the only reason the stock went up in the past few months because people hope Peltz would win. Now that Iger's won, basically yes, exactly. Anytime if you go back and you start tracking Disney stock back to then, last time this came up to question, and the same thing happened. Stock went up, and then it went back down. So it's 100% correct, 100% correct. And again, this is where people just need to, if they can go back and look at stock, and then look at what's being announced at those times, and look at when it may go up and down, put that along where the annual stock, where the quarterly meetings are, and in the annual meeting, you'll see them pretty much. They don't always correlate, but they kind of have a trend line in that direction because it's always a thing, and this is what Disney's gotten through, and they did it again. Was this big sky with all the cool things, and then don't look at the numbers. Don't look over there. Look over here. Yeah.
Oh crap! As you were talking about that, I forgot. So another thing would happen on Thursday, right? Along with the Latin America's area beyond Big Thunder, they also announced that Dinosaur is out of Animal Kingdom, and they're putting Indiana Jones in.
What?
They are
going to do that?
Indiana Jones into Animal Kingdom, where Dinosaur is now.
Okay. That's interesting.
That's been greenlit. So yes, it's coming.
Wow.
I guess because all you West Coast people have had your Indiana Jones for too long. Now we get our turn.
Oh, and yours is going to be probably like the 2.0 version or something.
Well, your animatronics would be good. Well,
I hope that everything works because Disco Yeti was a big disappointment.
Yeah.
I mean, you built the whole damn thing around Disco Yeti, and the thing don't even damn work.
Yeah, and oh man, so this
and we're going to replace it with $100 strobe light. You'll be all right. Have your fun. Take you right on the roller coaster. You'll be all right.
Again, these
so
are
that's why my fingers are crossed that like Indy is wildly successful.
Oh, it will be
at Animal Kingdom. You know,
it will be.
Though it really doesn't make a lot of sense to put in Animal Kingdom because other than like the snakes and the insects, there's not really a whole lot of animals on the Indiana Jones Adventure at Anaheim. Nor is there on the one at DLP in Paris.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Well, the only reason why is because of the mechanism that's already in place. It's a
no, I get it. It's because the ride system's
the
same system
as
you have in Anaheim. Absolutely. It's the only way. You're right.
Yeah.
Well,
all
are happy. Right. Like all are happy talking about relocating Star Tours to Galaxy's Edge ain't never going to happen because they don't want to move the vehicles.
No.
They could. Trust me. You get a CH-54 Tanhey heavy lift helicopter in there in the middle of the night. You could lift all 4 of those simulators in a single lift. Trust me. Yeah. That's how big this helicopter is. And you could put them down anywhere you wanted in Galaxy's Edge. Not a problem. You could do it in 20 minutes. But Disney don't want to do that.
No. Because
as cool as that would be.
Yeah, no, but without going into the weeds on that, but that is, again, these are all things that point in the direction of where we're at. These are all things that we all know they could be doing and improving. They could be doing all these things and improving, but they're not. And then the question becomes, why aren't they?
Why aren't they? Yeah.
And so this is all of this discussion is exactly that. Well, let me shut my camera off for a second. I'm running low on battery. Be back in a second.
Yeah. Well, I find all this to be very, very interesting. What do you think we're going to get for D23, Louis?
I think we're going to get a rehash of last year, and we're going to talk a lot more about Disneyland Forward.
Oh yeah.
I think Disneyland Forward is going to take primarily the prize on Parks panel because I presume that's what we're talking about D23.
Yeah,
We're talking about the Parks panel, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's going to take front stage center is going to be Disneyland Forward. Mm-hmm. However, I really wish they would talk about Zootopia at Shanghai and they would talk about Frozen at Hong Kong.
Oh yeah.
And about how possibly they could add those 2 attractions to Disneyland Forward because I would really like to see a Zootopia attraction in North America. I mean, we already have Frozen here at Epcot, so I'm good there, but I really want to see Zootopia in America. But
yeah,
that's, I guess, a boy can dream. I mean, but he's not going to get it. You know what I mean?
When was the last time you were out here to Anaheim?
Oh, the last time I went to DLRA?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. 2011.
Oh, geez. So it's been a minute.
Yeah. But I, again, I mean, I follow you guys all. I follow all you guys. And and with LMG videos, and here I'm just going to give a shameless plug to my bud, Chris with a K, and that is his videos are so good, it's like you're there.
Oh, cool.
So it's like I've never, it's like, while I haven't been to the park in, gosh, like 13 years, I guess it's been.
Yeah.
It's like I was there yesterday because I keep watching the videos.
Mm.
And then I get to hear you guys talk about like the cookies at the Harbor House. And I get to talk about all this little minute, like, hey, did you try this? Hey, did you try that? Hey, did you try this? And I get to look everything up and I get to go, okay, that's really cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So what would make you come out here again? I mean, is it?
Do I have to say so on the internet? Do I gotta say it?
No.
It's just.
Say it.
Okay, I tell you what. I will give you the Disney version of why I want to come out. I would love to come out to visit DLRA and see what has been improved since the last time I was there. Sure. Will I go? If I could guarantee I could get out there at the same time you guys made a visit, or like Jason or Steamboat Steve made a visit,
We all did, yeah.
I would definitely figure out a way to get myself down there. Absolutely.
Well,
but that's not all. I'll give you some personal
there's more.
news. I will give you some personal news. Yes. Yeah. So, and this is the reason why there's all these boxes and stuff behind me. My spouse and I are getting ready to move to Florida.
Really?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
So we're going to be moving about, and my spouse is going to kick me in the butt, about 80 kilometers from Walt Disney World.
Was she mad because you used kilometers? She get mad at you for that?
No. She gets mad. She gets mad when I say we're moving 80 kilometers next to Walt Disney World. But no, that's where we figured out. That's where we want to live in Florida, and things are still affordable, and insurance is still affordable, and life is still affordable. And eventually, once we get a residency, we can get our annual passes, our resident annual passes, just like Kenny over at Alpha Traveler One has. Or like Nate or Tim Traveler, or Adam the Woo, or whoever else you want to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
cool, man.
Like I was telling Jason and Steamboat Steve, I was like, look, if you want me to take specific video, I can go out and take specific video for you. If you want video footage or you want still photography footage of that then and there at Walt Disney World, I am your boy to do that. Like, I can do that, no problem. Send it to you via our email, and you're good to go. You have it. So if you want to include it in your presentations, you can gladly do so, and you'd have up to the date footage.
So Lewis, can we actually poach you for like a LTP East Coast report?
I don't see why not. Okay. I don't see why not. I'd be glad to do it.
You'll be our East Coast affiliate.
Our East Coast affiliate. Right. But yeah, I mean, seriously, if I think that'd be great. I don't want to take any arrangement you've had with Jason or whatever.
No. Just the current arrangement is that when I get down there, they said, yeah, if we send you a request, you'll do it. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. No
okay. Cool.
Just like I told them, look, if you guys want to come out, stay at my house. Stay at my house for free, man.
Oh, yeah.
Stay at my house, drive down to the park, have a great day, come on back to the house, get some sleep. It's all
cool.
good.
Awesome.
And I extend the offer to both of y'all too.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Because I mean, I know that you would probably want to stay on property if you could afford it, but you have that option to stay for free if you don't want it. You know what I mean?
For sure. Well, very much appreciated.
Of course. I think it'd be great. I mean, we could all hang out and we could actually do episodes live from the parks and stuff, which would be kind of cool.
Oh, that'd be very cool.
Like a live stream from the parks. Like you guys knew who Alex's historian is?
Yep.
You remember his live streams from the park?
I don't. No.
His stuff, along with Steamboat Steve and Chris with a K, his stuff was like the stuff of like live stream legend.
Okay.
Because they were doing experiments with like experimental photography that were literally going into the bounds of fourth dimensional relativity.
Really?
At Disneyland, yes.
Okay.
Well, look, I don't want to what do you call it? I don't want to reveal some kind of deep, dark, cerebral secret, but I'm just going to say this, right? If you know what fourth dimensional geometry is, okay, and you know about the observed and the observer being both simultaneously, now we start talking about fourth dimensional geometry. And they were doing that via the live streams at Disneyland. It's very cool stuff.
Okay.
It's like time travel, man.
Interesting.
It's kind of cool stuff, yeah. The best analogy I can say is, have you guys ever seen Inception?
Yeah.
Right. So do you remember at the beginning of the film when Cobb, that's Leo DiCaprio, is taking Adrienne, that's Ellen Page, and talking about the observer and the observed simultaneously?
Mm-hmm.
And they go down underneath the subway, and then Leo starts manipulating the mirrors.
Yeah.
And then we get to see down one side of the mirrors in infinity, and then the other side of the mirrors infinity.
Yeah.
That's what's called being the observer and the observed simultaneously.
Huh.
Or literally infinity itself, or a form of time travel.
Crazy. Ah.
And they were doing that. They were doing that at Disneyland, and they were doing that before the film came out. By the way,
That's crazy.
Yeah. So how about that for some next level entertainment?
That is some next level entertainment.
You know, to see them actually do the observed and the observer and the observed simultaneously is wild. Like that's like some like Eric Drader stuff, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, no doubt. I mean, it's cool as hell.
Crazy.
But that's just kind of wild stuff I'm into. But that's my point is we could do that stuff if you guys get down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just do wild things. It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
It'd be fun.
Speaking about other wild things. Just something I saw recently. Have you seen those male mouse ears yet?
The what?
The male mouse ears.
No. Do I even want to know?
Oh man, right. Shanghai, right? So at Shanghai, yeah, I think you can. So at Shanghai, they're selling like male themed mouse ears, man. Like they have like, you know that movie Turning Red about the pandas?
Yeah.
So I got to see this video that was posted by Theme Park 360 at Shanghai, and they showed these Chinese gentlemen wearing these panda ears. And I'm like, them men's mouth ears right there. And it blew my mind. It blew my mind that they actually marketed to men.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it now.
Please do. Like I said, Theme Park 360.
Oh, okay.
That's who posted the video. See, I'm giving all sorts of people props tonight, Internet. That's right. I'm not a hater. I'm a celebrator and a congratulator. I'm gonna shout out to all my pals. That's right. Give them props. Go watch your podcast. Go watch your videos. You'll be all right. Get some Disney knowledge.
Right.
Or like when Udi and I keep talking about doing the deep cut special.
Oh, we got to do that.
You want some knowledge? We'll give you some real knowledge.
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of the conversation we've had today. We're going deep into these things.
We were definitely dipping shovels in the sand, tossing a little sand over the shoulder.
Yeah,
just a little bit, not too much though.
Oh, I mean,
people are going to think I'm probably a whack job, but that's all right.
No,
I don't care.
But then you and me both, we're gonna ride that same bus, so we're fine.
Oh, we're going to ride the snake all the way to Zootopia.
We're in good company, right? No, good company, and like I said, these are the things that if people want to know more, then we'll keep on. We're going to keep on reporting on it, but it's like understanding the layer under layer under layer.
Oh yeah,
that's what like. People are here, and then I'm down here, and this is where I find all the good stuff. If you want to no problem. But if you want to come on down, then
we're down like in the submantle right now, going for the core.
Yeah,
exactly. I hear what you're saying. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we're digging away, and
blasting it away. Bam.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, like I said, hopefully this is going to be. For some people, a little bit of a deeper dive into it. I mean, we definitely went a deeper dive, but we could have gone deeper.
We could have gone far deeper.
We could have gone way, 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 way deeper.
Sure.
Much deeper.
We could do so many things, but
and we still can, Udi, but not tonight. But we still can.
That's what I'm saying. So this is where, honestly. So let me just say this real quick.
Okay.
The LTP Lounge concept. This is what I wanted to do. This is what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm super stoked that we're doing this right now. We're being on point, on time, and going into it to explain things that some people don't catch or don't care to get into, and they want it like put into a package that is easy for them to take in. Right. So I hope we've done that.
Yeah.
I hope that we've done that for some people. That they can take all these bigger issues, and we kind of put into a place where you can see, oh, now I get maybe, and you may disagree, and that's fine.
Right.
But at least you're now maybe going to look at it.
Right, and we've dropped enough references to enough like legitimate news sites that like all people have to do is Google something that we said.
Yeah.
And you're going to see things like Forbes and Barron's, Wall Street Journal, LSE, The Economist, all these like pertinent, like legit, like above board publications talk about everything we've talked about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, again, everything's open source. It's not like, we're talking to guys in soiled raincoats down at the bus station.
Yeah.
It ain't like that. I mean, we're getting like legitimate stuff here.
Yeah.
This is all legit. Like where nothing's being pulled out of fourth point of contact from anything.
Exactly.
I promise you that. This is all legit.
Yeah.
Gare Bear, thanks for joining us. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. our podcast 194 will drop. So
thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
And then Jason said, glad to see you guys back on stream. Glad that we're back. I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I am too.
Honestly, Sunday evening might work.
It might.
What do you think about that? Or okay.
I'm available.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Well,
I'm available. Yes.
Yeah. We'll let's discuss that backstage, and we'll see where we go. We may switch it up, but yeah. Let's see how that goes.
Okay.
We'll discuss, but yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, maybe we should wrap this one up. It's an hour and 40 minutes already into this.
Not bad. We could easily gone for another hour and a half, but
yeah. Again, to talk about Star Wars, we go into like 5 a.m. Pacific.
If that was going to happen,
easy.
Yeah, if that was going to happen, I have a bottle right over there that I have to break out.
Because I want to talk about Harrison Ford and how they spent $80 billion on how to de-age Harrison Ford. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that deep dive. That's the one I want to go to. 80 what is it? 80 million or $80 billion? What are you guys saying?
Million. It was million.
Okay, $80 million. My point is that's insane.
Yeah.
You think I'm insane? No, that's insane.
And then
$80 million DH Harrison Ford. What the kind of garbage is that?
Did you hear what the number being floated for how much Iger and Disney spent to keep Nelson off the board?
No, I didn't see that.
I hear it's a close to approaching like 128 mil.
The number I heard was 70 million at the minimum.
See, I heard 128.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's your money.
Yeah.
That's not Bob's money.
Mm-mm.
That's not like
That's
a
Disney
cabal
money.
of shareholders' money. That's your money.
Mm-hmm.
That's your money as a shareholder being squandered on this kind of stuff.
Yep.
With the marketing, like every time they put that thing on YouTube, they had to spend about $6,000 to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Every time that thing aired on Disney Plus, it cost them $3,000 to do that.
Yeah.
And it aired a lot. Those two ads aired, oh my gosh. And then you add that to like the terrestrial broadcast television or like other streaming services like Paramount or like Hulu or like MGM Plus or like Max. Now we're talking real money. And that's where it comes out to this, like Udi said, about 72 million. I'm saying 128 million.
Jeez.
Either way.
Point is, have you ever seen $128 million? Because I ain't.
Never.
No.
Not
okay. Well,
reality,
let's wrap up this one, and we can continue off of that.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna wrap up episode number 4 of the LTP Lounge. Hopefully, we can come to you with some regularity now. I don't know what day it's going to be, but we'll let you guys know when that happens. Thank you for everyone that joined in today. And thank you again for Lewis for hopping on tonight. You did a really, really good job.
Thank you.
And
thank you for having me.
Of course, any time, really. I mean that. And if you want to come on our actual podcast and talk about that audio only, then you can definitely do that.
Cool. Sounds good.
Cool. All right. So we will sign off now. But you two stay on real quick.
Of course.
Okay.
All right. Thanks everybody for hanging out.
Thank you.
Thank you.